The heat in Egypt was relentless, a heavy blanket that smothered the spirit. Under the scorching, unforgiving sun, the Israelites hauled massive loads of heavy clay, their movements rhythmic yet exhausted. From the first light of dawn until the dying embers of dusk, they shaped bricks that would build monuments for a kingdom that hated them. Their backs were maps of pain, scarred deeply by the overseer's whip, while their hands grew raw and bloody from the jagged, unforgiving stone. They worked in the fields without a moment of rest, their lives no longer measured by years or memories, but only by the crushing weight of their burdens and the calculated cruelty of those who watched them. Every breath was a struggle against the dust and the despair of a people forgotten in the shadow of the pyramids. High above the suffering, within the shadowed halls of the palace, the king of Egypt paced restlessly before his golden throne. The air here was cool, yet filled with a different kind of tension. He summoned Shiphrah and Puah, the two Hebrew midwives, whose presence brought the scent of the earth into the sterile royal chamber. The king pointed a trembling finger at them, his voice sharp and echoing like a hammer against the cold stone walls. He gave a terrifying order that chilled the blood. If a Hebrew woman gives birth to a son, you are to kill the infant immediately. If it is a daughter, she may live. The two women stood like statues, their faces masks of stone, showing no emotion as the murderous decree filled the room. They bowed low, their hearts pounding in the silence, and left the palace to return to the Hebrew quarters. The next day, the sun rose on a world forever changed by a secret resolve. In a dim, crowded shelter, a child was born. The mother screamed in agony, a sound that carried the hope and fear of an entire nation as the boy entered the world. Shiphrah looked down at the tiny, gasping infant, then met the steady gaze of Puah. The air was thick with the possibility of death, yet they did not reach for a weapon or a cord to end the life before them. Instead, with hands that were firm and gentle, they cleaned the baby, wiping away the blood and the dust. They wrapped him in a soft linen cloth, cradling him as if he were their own. When they handed him safely to his mother's trembling arms, they weren't just delivering a child, they were defying the most powerful man on earth. Day after day, as more sons were born into the shadow of the decree, the midwives continued their dangerous work. They shielded every child from the king's wrath, standing as a wall between the innocent and the sword. They chose to face the potential execution of the crown, preferring to die as protectors rather than live as murderers. Their hands, once feared as instruments of the king's will, became the very vessels of life and hope. The king waited in his palace for the reports of dead infants. Reports that never came. He sat upon his throne, unaware that his absolute power had been shattered. It was not broken by an army or a rebellion, but by the silent, steady defiance of two women who feared God more than they feared a king.